This is Fever 104 FM. Namaskar. Welcome to Kismat Connection with Dr. Sheila M. Bajaj.
Kismat Connection. Kismat.
We do this every Monday, Wednesday and Friday where Dr. Sheila spends time with us, gives us an understanding, a perspective about numerology, tarot card reading. She's a life coach. She's an author as well. Thanks, Dr. Sheila, for spending time with us. We get so many questions on our WhatsApp, 9739 104 104. Asking multiple different questions. Of course, not everything can be answered in a radio show, but we try to get to as many questions as possible. You can, of course, reach out to her directly on her Instagram, Sheila M. Bajaj. She's just a DM away. You can log on to her website as well. Today's episode, we are talking about name numerology. In case you're just joining us, Sheila told us the connection between numbers and names and how it has a huge role to play with who you are as an individual. Dr. Sheila, right now we are going to do a live name correction, or not a name correction but a name analysis. Let's start with that. We've got Sanjana here who is part of the team. Sanjana, are you excited about this?
Yes, really. That's the first time, so yeah.
Let's do this then. Dr. Sheila, you have Sanjana. What exactly do you think is going on in terms of name analysis?
Okay, so I'm looking at Sanjana's date of birth, and she's a number 6 and 6 combination, which is, I wish I had those numbers. It is such an amazing to be ruled by Venus, and Venus on both sides is just a dream come true. So on the date of birth front, it can't get luckier than that, right? But the name, she's ruled by Saturn and she's ruled by Mars, which is making her whole life pattern struggle and gadha mazduri. So you would find that a lot of things that you desire or you work towards sort of go in one direction, and somewhere along the line it kind of gets lost or you don't get the outcome. Are you able to take things to the finish line, or you feel things get disrupted in the last minute?
Sometimes it happens because I think the reason is I'm a procrastinator. So I spend time in planning, and when I'm executing it takes a little bit.
So what happens a lot of times, certain planets that you're ruled by give you certain attributes and traits in yourself. So you may think you're procrastinating, but sometimes it's the energy of that planet that creates that outcome. Also, you end up finding a lot of like that you learn too many lessons in life. Like struggle happens, you got out of it, and there's a lesson to be learned. Like you get hurt.
Right.
There are lots of difficult situations that give you bitter lessons.
Right. That has happened.
Yeah, with friends. Have you had some issues with learning it the hard way?
Right.
Yeah?
Yes,
so that also is because of your name, not your date of birth. Your date of birth is absolutely amazing.
Sheila, by the way, has pulled out her tarot cards.
Yeah, I also like doing like on a radio show, because it's a very short time that we get to capture the person's energy. In a detailed consult numerology, I can do a lot more, but when you're doing something on radio, you need to use as much as possible. So which is why I'm pulling out my cards.
Yeah.
Do you have someone very controlling in your life?
Not really.
Do you have someone who's kind of there's something that's kind of holding you back, some kind of control that's holding you back, either something that you should be doing, either a responsibility or a situation where you can't move out of somewhere, something. It's either a situation holding you, controlling you, or a person.
It's not a person. It's my upbringing is what I can say, because I am from a small town. It's called Chamrajnagar, and that is how I've been grown up.
So you want to spread your wings and fly, but then there's this conflict. There is this, like we call it the divine dichotomy, where it just kind of, you want to fly, you want to find your wings to fly, but then there is this something that controls you in your subconscious mind.
Right.
So yeah, it could be a person, it could be upbringing, it could be a judgment about something, it could be you feel too guilty about, flying away,
Right.
or reaching out for your dreams.
That happens.
So yeah, I can see that. But I see that do you also have something going on, like do you get headaches a whole lot, or do you get stomach issues?
Headache, stomach issues, nothing like that, but body pain, yeah.
So I think like on the energy level, your energies are a little weak. Your head chakra is a little weak on energy, and your stomach. So watch out for these two. A lot of times when we tell people something like that, they can't relate to it today, but maybe like in the week ahead, after 3 days, they notice that, something's going on with my stomach, or my head feels a little heavy, or I haven't slept enough, or just heavy headed, or unable to focus or think. That could be one of the manifestations of a weak chakra in the head. So I would suggest a salt bath for you, and I would suggest, you need to be a little more assertive. You tend to be a little bit of a pushover sometimes.
Yeah. I am.
People take you for a ride, people take you for granted, and then you don't usually vocalize, you don't usually say it out loud. You just kind of bite the bullet. You should learn to be a little assertive, because otherwise you keep it inside and it comes out somewhere else. Yeah.
Right.
So very interesting. And all of this is happening live on the radio. By the way, you can reach out to Sheila and get your perspective about your name as well. Log on to Sheila.com. Sheila M. Bajaj is her name on Instagram. For all the non-believers out there, we are going to have a conversation about that when we come back. Sunte rahiye Fever 104 FM. This is Kismat Connection.